I almost get sick. I'm laughing so much. Mom stares at me. Dad stares at me. Gret stares at me. Then, you lousy son of a... I don't catch the rest of the insult. Gret flies down the stairs ahead of it. She drops her towel on the way. I don't have time to react to that before she's on me, slapping and scratching my face. What's wrong, Gretelda? I giggle, fending her off, calling her by the name she hates. She normally calls me Grubstitch in response. But she's too mad to think of it now. Scum! She shrieks. Then she lunges at me sharply, grabs my jaw, jerks my mouth open, and tries her hardest to stuff a handful of rat guts down my throat. I stop laughing instantly. A mouthful of rotten rat guts wasn't part of the grand Uber joke. Get off, I roar, lashing out wildly. Mom and Dad suddenly recover and shout at exactly the same time. Stop that! Don't hit your sister. She's a lunatic, I gasp, pushing myself away from the steaming Gret, falling off of my chair. He's an animal, Gret sobs, picking more chunks of guts from her hair, wiping rat blood from her face. I realize she's crying. Serious waterworks. And her face is red as her long, straight hair. Not red from the blood. Red from anger, shame, and fear? Mom picks up the dropped towel, takes it to Gret, wraps it around her. Dad's just behind them, face as dark as death. Gret picks more strands and loops of rat guts from her hair and then howls with anguish. They're all over me, she yells, then throws some of the guts at me. You bloody little monster. You're the one who's bloody, I cackle. Gret dives for my throat. No more. Dad doesn't raise his voice, but his tone stops us dead. Mom's staring at me with open disgust. Dad's shooting daggers. I sense that I'm the only one who sees the funny side of this. It was a joke, I mutter defensively before the accusations fly. I hate you, Gret hisses, then bursts into fresh tears and flees dramatically. Cal, Mom says to Dad, freezing me with the ice-cold glare. Take Grubstitch in hand. I'm going up to try and comfort Gretelda. Mom always calls us by our given names. She's the one who picked them and is the only person in the world who doesn't see how shudderingly awful they are. Mom heads upstairs. Dad sighs, walks to the counter, tears off several sheets of kitchen paper, and mops up some of the guts and streaks of blood from the floor. After a couple of silent minutes of this, I lie uncertainly by my upturned chair. He turns a steely gaze on me. Lots of sharp lines around his mouth and eyes, the sign that he is really angry, even angrier than he was about me smoking. You shouldn't have done that, he says. It was funny, I mutter. No, he barks, it wasn't. She deserved it, I cry. She's done worse to me. She told Mom about me smoking. I know it was her. And remember that time she melted my lead soldiers? And cut up my comics? And there are some things you should never do. Dad interrupts softly. This was wrong. You invaded your sister's privacy. Humiliated her, terrified her senseless. And the timing. You... He pauses and ends with a fairly weak, upset her greatly. He checks his watch. Get ready for school. We'll discuss your punishment later. I trudge upstairs miserably, unable to see what all the aggro is about. It was a great joke. I laughed for hours when I thought of it, and all that hard work, chopping the rats up, mixing in some water to keep them fresh, make them gooey, getting up early, sneaking into her bathroom while she was asleep, carefully putting the guts in place. Wasted. I passed Gret's bedroom and hear her crying pitifully. Mom's whispering softly to her. My stomach gets hard when I know I've done something bad. I ignore it. I don't care what they say, I grumble, kicking open the door to my room and tearing off my pajamas. It was a brilliant joke. Purgatory. Confined to my room after school for a month. A whole bloody month. No TV, no computer, no comics, no books except school books. Dad leaves my chess set in the room too. No fear my chess-mad parents would take that away from me. Chess is almost a religion in this house. Gret and I were reared on it. While other toddlers were being taught how to put jigsaws together, we were keeping busy learning the ridiculous rules of chess. I can come downstairs for meals, and bathroom visits are allowed, but otherwise I'm a prisoner. I can't even go out at the weekends. In solitude, I call Gret every name under the moon the first night. Mom and Dad bear the brunt of my curses the next. After that, I'm too miserable to blame anyone, so I sulk in moody silence and play chess against myself to pass the time. They don't talk to me at meals. The three of them act like I'm not there. Gret doesn't even glance at me spitefully and sneer the way she usually does when I'm getting the doghouse treatment. But what have I done that's so bad? Okay, it was a crude joke, and I knew I'd get into trouble, but their reactions are way over the top. If I'd done something to embarrass Gret in public, fair enough, I'd take what was coming. But this is a private joke, just between us. They shouldn't be making such a song and dance about it. Dad's words echo back to me. And the timing. I think about them a lot, and Mom's, when she was out having a go at me while smoking just before Dad cut her short. We don't need this, certainly not at this time, not when... What did they mean? What were they talking about? What does the timing have to do with anything? Something stinks here, and it's not just rat guts. I spent a lot of time writing. Diary entries, stories, poems. I tried drawing a comic. Grubbs Grady, superhero. But I'm no good at art. I make great marks in my other subjects, way better than goat-faced Gret ever gets, as often as I remind her, but I've all the artistic talent of a duck. I play lots of games of chess. Mom and Dad are chess fanatics. There's a board in every room, and they play several games most nights, almost against each other or friends from their chess clubs. They make Gret and me play too. My earliest memory is of sucking on a white rook while Dad explained how a knight moves. I can beat just about anyone my age. I've won regional competitions, but I'm not in the same class as Mom, Dad, or Gret. Gret's won a national level and can wipe the floor with me 9 times out of 10. I've only ever beaten Mom twice in my life. Dad, never. It's been the biggest argument starter in all my life. Mom and Dad don't put pressure on me to do well in school or at other games, but they press me all the time at chess. They make me read chess books and watch videotape tournaments. They have long debates over meals, and in Dad's study about legendary games and about grandmasters and how I can improve. They send me to tutors and keep entering me in competitions. I've argued with them about it. I'd rather spend my time watching and playing football, but they've always stood firm. White rook takes black pawn, threatens black queen. Black Queen moves to safety. I chase her with my bishop. Black Queen moves again, still in danger. This is childish stuff. I could have cut off the threat 5 moves back when it became apparent, but I don't care. In a petty way, this is me striking back. You take my TV and computer away? Stick me up here on my own? Okay. I'm going to learn to play the worst chess game in the world. See how you like it, Corporal Dad and Commandant Mom. Not exactly Luke Skywalker striking a back against the evil Empire by blowing up a Death Star, I know. But hey, we've all got to start somewhere. Studying my hair in the mirror, stiff, tight, ginger. Dad used to be ginger when he was younger, before the gray set in. Says he was 15 or 16 when he noticed the change. So if I follow in his footsteps, I've only got a handful or so of years of unbroken ginger to look forward to. I like the idea of a few gray hairs. Not a whole head of them like Dad, just a few, and spread out. I don't want a skunk patch. I'm big for my age, taller than most of my friends, and burly. I don't look old, but if I had a few gray hairs, I might be able to pass for an adult in poor light. Bluff my way into 18-rated movies. The door opens. Gret, smiling shyly. I'm 19 days into my sentence, full of hate for Gretelda Grotesque. She's the last person I want to see. Get out. I came to make up, she says. Too late, I snarl nastily. I've only got 11 days to go. I'd rather see them out than kiss your... I stop. She's holding out a plastic bag. Something white inside. What's that? I ask suspiciously. A present to make up for getting you grounded, she says and lays it on my bed. She glances out of the window. The curtains are open. A 3/4 moon lights up the sill. There are some chess pieces on it from where I was playing earlier. Gret shivers, then turns away. Mom and Dad said you can come out. The punishment's over. They've ended it early. She leaves. Bewildered, I tear open the plastic. Inside, a Tottenham Hotspur shirt, shorts, and socks. I'm stunned. The Super Spurs are my team, my football champions. Mom used to buy me their latest kit at the start of every season until I hit puberty and sprouted. She won't buy me any new kits until I've stopped growing. I outgrew the last one in just a month. This must have cost Gret a fortune. It's the brand new kit, not last season's. This is the first time she's ever given me a present except at Christmas and birthdays. Mom and Dad have never cut a grounding before. They're very strict about making us stick to any punishment they set. What the hell is going on? 3 days after my early release. To say things are strange is an understatement of the decade. The atmosphere is just like it was when Gran died. Mom and Dad wander around like robots, not saying much. Gret mopes in her room or in the kitchen, stuffing herself with sweets and playing chess nonstop. She's like an addict. It's bizarre. I want to ask them about it, but how? Mom and Dad have aliens taken over your bodies? Is somebody dead and you're too afraid to tell me? Have you all converted to miseryism? Seriously. Jokes aside, I'm frightened. They're sharing a secret, something bad, and keeping me out of it. Why? Is it to do with me? Do they know something that I don't? Like maybe, go on, have the guts, say it. Like maybe I'm going to die. Stupid. An overreaction. Reading too much into it. Perhaps. But they cut short my punishment. Greg gave me a present. They look like they're about to burst into tears at any given minute. Grabs Grady is on his way out. A deadly disease I caught on holiday? A brain defect I've had since birth? The big bad cancer bug? What other explanation is there? Regale me with your thoughts on ballet. I'm watching football highlights, alone in the TV room with Dad. I cock my ear at the weird, out-of-nowhere question and shrug. Rubbish, I snort. You don't think it's an incredibly beautiful art form? You've never wished to experience it firsthand? You don't want to glide across Swan Lake or get sweet with a nutcracker? I choke on a laugh. Is this a wind-up? Dad smiles. Just wanted to check. I got a great offer on tickets to a performance tomorrow. I bought 3, anticipating your less than enthusiastic reaction, but I could probably get an extra one if you want to tag along. No way. Your loss. The ballet's out of town and finishes quite late. It will be easier for us to stay in a hotel overnight. Does that mean I'll have the house to myself? I ask, excitedly. No such luck. I think you're old enough to guard the fort, but Sharon, Mom, has a different view, and she's the boss. You'll have to stay with Aunt Kate. Not no date Kate, I groan. Aunt Kate's only a couple of years older than Mom, but lives like a 90-year-old. She has a black and white TV, but only turns it on for the news, listens to the radio the rest of the time. Couldn't I kill myself instead? I quip. Don't make jokes like that. Dad snapped with an unexpected venom. I stare at him, hurt, and he forces a thin smile. Sorry. Had a hard day at the office. I'll arrange it with Kate then. He stumbles as he exits, as if he's nervous. For a minute, there it was, like normal, me and Dad messing about, and I forgot all my recent worries. Now, they came flooding back. If I'm not for the chop, then why was he so upset at my throwaway gag? Curious and afraid, I slink to the door and eavesdrop as he phones Aunt Kate and clears my stay with her. Nothing suspicious in their conversation. He doesn't talk about me as if these are my final days. He hangs up with a cheery toodle pip, a corny phrase he often uses on the phone. I'm about to withdraw and catch up with the football action when I hear Gret speaking softly from the stairs. He didn't want to come? No, Dad whispers back. It's all set? Yes. He'll stay with Kate, and it'll just be the 3 of us. Couldn't we wait until next month? Best to do it now. It's too dangerous to put it off. I'm scared, Dad. I know, love. So am I. Silence. Mom drops me off at Aunt Kate's. They exchange some small talk on the doorstep, but Mom's in a rush and cuts the chat short. She says she has to hurry or they'll be late for the ballet. Aunt Kate buys that, but I've cracked their cover story. I don't know what Mom and Co. are up to tonight. But they're not going to watch a load of poseurs in tights and jumping around like puppets. Be good for your aunt, Mom says, tweaking the hairs on my fringe. Enjoy the ballet, I reply, smiling hollowly. Mom hugs me, then kisses me, and I can't remember the last time she kissed me. There's something desperate about it. I love you, Grabbitzt. she croaks, almost sobbing. If I hadn't already known something was very, very wrong, the dread in her voice would have tipped me off.